welcome, or should I say welcome back to Wrestling And. I would sound more excited, but Justin and I just recorded for 30 minutes, and there was a technical difficulty. Justin, hello again.
Hey, man. Long time no see.
No talk, yeah. What we talked about, I will quickly summon this up. I will quickly synopsize this. We talked about Windy City Riot. We talked about Moxley, Stephanie McMahon, Jack Perry, Mustafa Ali. Very good stuff from Ali Hiromu. We talked about Moxley finally winning, Moxley's past. We talked a little bit about his first New Japan matches and how excited they were. We talked about Jack Perry and him being done with New Japan, his kind of CM Punk thing going on. And we also discussed Marigold. We talked about if Stardom was dying or not, to which I replied, no, they have all their main wrestlers. We talked about their relationship with WWE. And what else? We got kind of we weren't sure if Cody had wrestled in New Japan before Moxley, but then we quickly realized that he had. Is that about right? Is that what we talked about?
Summed it all up.
Yes. Oh, we talked about Lemons in Hiroshima as well.
Yes,
which we'll be doing that. Lemons and the Mazda factory. So let the AI, I hope the AI has fun synopsizing all what we just talked about there, right?
I think it should.
Now, no one heard you before. Justin, how are you?
I'm doing okay. In the midst of probably the busiest time in my life with work and my kids and all that stuff. So, but we're hanging in there.
Why do you say in your life? Just because the kids are getting older and work's
kids are getting
intense,
older and they're starting to, with their activities. And I had a really busy last few weeks of work. A lot of steps I've been taking with work, and all that stuff. So
positive steps, right?
I think so for the most part. But just a lot of kids with sports, and pretty much right when work is done, it's getting the kids off to a sport. And that would explain my lack of watching Windy City Riot. And
it's not a huge deal. I mean, but you know what, bro? A lot of dads don't do those things for their kids. So, I mean, sometimes when you're a good parent, it's like you actually enjoy making sacrifices. Like it's actually something you enjoy because you're like, you know what? Either my parents did this for me or my parents didn't do this for me, and I want my kids to have better. What
I told my wife is I'm really enjoying things right now, but it's tiring. I'm enjoying it, but it's doesn't mean that I'm not tired and all that, and it's been just hard.
And also, nothing lasts forever, dude.
Exactly.
I mean,
you can't get these days back,
Can't exactly. Yeah, I remember like when I was in high school, dude. I got the lead part in a musical, and it was a pretty intense musical. Yeah. I did really well as far as that goes. Music and stuff. That was my forte. I did a Little Shop of Horrors, and I got the lead part, and it was a lot of work, dude. I mean, and it was. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, bro. For a high school performance, I thought it was great. My Audrey, she was absolutely incredible singer. Still a close friend. But I just remember, dude, it was so stressful because not only did I have to do school all day, but I have to do 3-4 hours of practice every day. And it went on for months. Yeah. It went on for months and months. And I just remember it started like really stressed me out. But eventually I was like, it'll come to an end. And then next year I'll audition again and I'll do the same thing. So, the seasons, especially kids' seasons, they're quick,
Was it?
What sports are we talking? Baseball?
My youngest is in baseball and I'm coaching the team. And then my other one plays for 2 soccer teams, or kind of 3, huh, Maria?
Oh, wow.
We have pretty much 2 soccer teams right now. He plays for one at school and he plays for one through the police activity league at a park.
Wow. What were you going to ask me about Little Shop of Horrors?
What grade were you in when you did that?
You're a senior.
Oh, you were a senior. Okay. So see, that's the thing is senior year is supposed to be easy and chill, but it wasn't for you when you're doing the play.
No, but I was a musician, and like with the musicianship, the higher you get, the more intense activity, like all state bands and stuff like that. But yeah. Nope, I actually, believe it or not, I don't believe in manifestation. Like, I believe that, like, you can see things in your head that you want, and then you can take steps to creating those things or making them happen. I don't think it's magical. And I remember in my head, I was like, I can do Little Shop of Horrors. I know I can. And I went to my teacher my junior year and said, next year, we got to do Little Shop of Horrors. I'll play the lead. And she did. She believed me.
Mm-hmm.
So we did it. Anyways, yeah. Like I said, I know it's a lot and stuff, but like I said, you're a good guy, and there's a lot of parents who, they don't even do stuff like that. I'm so happy my mom, when I was a kid, she put me in all these sports and stuff, and she never had to. We were poor, but there were services that let me go play soccer and baseball. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful for that stuff. Letting your kids spread their wings, as long as they're not watching IShowSpeed.
They know who that is, but they don't watch him.
I still can't believe we talked about him, and then the dude popped up at fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was pretty.
It just kind of. And he got. What's funny is like he was supposed to break the table. I think he pissed Randy Orton off, bro.
But does he know Logan Paul? Right? Is he affiliated with him somehow? I don't really know what he does.
No, they're just famous streamers.
Right, but
Logan Paul's not a streamer. No, Logan Paul's not a streamer, but
isn't he?
No, they're just internet figures.
Because I see Logan Paul does some kind of podcast or show, right?
Impulsive, but it's just a podcast.
Right. And that's where when you see those clips, it's him on that show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, I'm trying to think. I mean, dude, Logan Paul started on Vine, right? Remember Vine?
I do remember Vine.
Were you into it?
Maybe for a minute. It was, basically just got killed by Instagram stories.
No, it's more to it than that.
And Snapchat, I guess. I don't know.
Snapchat is the original. Snapchat, and then Facebook started copying that. And Facebook owns Instagram, and then they moved Reels, they call it. But It was all Snapchat at first. But no, I'll try to keep this quick. So Vine started it back in the day, and Vine got pretty big pretty quick. And so what they did was they moved all the top Vine stars to Hollywood and Vine in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people credit that with making LA the center of YouTube culture and internet culture. Because that first move, they moved all these internet celebrities to literally Hollywood and Vine because they were from Vine, right? You get it?
There is a giant apartment building there.
That's where they moved them all to, one giant apartment building. And and so, after that, like now if you're a internet creator, like you pretty much, you don't have to, but most of them end up moving to LA. So they've brought even more gross people to your city.
Well,
you don't have to though. You don't have to though. Mr. Beast, I think, lives in North Carolina, but yeah, that's how it worked. And then TikTok came out, but TikTok's probably not going to be around in a year or so. But what I was saying is Logan Paul and the Paul brothers, they were from Vine back in the day, and they just did the YouTube thing. Logan Paul went to the Suicide Forest. Jake Paul was they were making some of the worst videos ever, bro. But they kind of transcended that,
Yeah, I mean, they were it's like Jackass kind of stuff, huh?
Their original stuff definitely was. Yeah. It was like a little bit of Filthy Frank stuff, if you guys ever watch him, but just like way more not respecting the culture, I guess. Dude, it wasn't too long ago these motherfuckers were like driving on the beach in Puerto Rico where like the turtle eggs were like a place you're not supposed to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Scumbag.
But yeah, IShowSpeed, totally different. I thought they would have had, not IShowSpeed, but I thought they would have had, oh God, now I can't remember his name. Kai Cenat. I thought they would have Kai Cenat, to be honest.
Have what?
Who I'm sure I thought they would have Kai Cenat instead of IShowSpeed.
Oh, I don't know.
Just another streamer. More popular. He's more popular.
I don't know what the whippersnappers are into.
Oh, come on, bro. You just have a family. You don't have as much time to watch nonsensical bullshit.
Yeah, I see it in person all the time, I guess.
Exactly. You just walk outside. Shit. Go for a block. See the homeless dude jacking off in the corner and you're good. So, like I said, Justin and I already did a show for a while, but tonight we are going to talk about wrestling and marijuana. Justin, go ahead and tell me what you know about wrestling and marijuana.
I'm pretty sure it's obviously something that's been very prevalent for years, whether they talked about it or not. And we've had some characters who have been kind of based around the use of it. coming to mind right away would be Rob Van Dam.
So I wanted to ask you that. Neither of us were huge wrestling fans when RVD was around, right? Or do you count yourself as one?
I do because, in his
but
ECW
not in
day.
WWE.
Well, in ECW.
Okay, was he like, I love smoking weed?
Pretty. I mean, RVD 420 was the T-shirt. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So he made no qualms at all.
Oh no, not at all, man. And he was, on the cover of High Times and all that stuff.
Okay, I see it here. RVD 420 T-shirt, reprinted. The original is $165.
Yeah, man, that was his slogan and everything.
Now, can I ask you something? What does the yin yang have to do with the 420? The yin and the yang? Is it kind of like a, yeah, bro, like fucking everything is cool and we all on into this together?
I mean, I don't know if they really go hand in hand, but they, Rob Van Dam was just kind of a combination of those two things.
I feel like Rob Van Dam makes the yin and the yang and the 420 work.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like he was getting high and he would stare at the yin and the yang and be like, bro, it all fucking makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more or less. He made it work.
All right. Yeah, RVD, it was on AEW TV tonight. Is it true that he smoked weed on TV?
I don't know if I've ever seen him do it on TV. Did he do it tonight on TV?
I don't think so, but I'm pretty sure there was.
If there was any night to do it.
Pretty sure they did a 420 elimination 4-way match, so I'm pretty sure
some kind of. I didn't see. Yeah, did you see it?
No, I'm gonna watch it when we get off because they also had a Bryan Danielson bunkhouse brawl, and the thumbnail has him just wearing a crimson mask of blood.
Oh wow!
Right before he wrestles fucking in like one of the most intense matches of his life, dude. So okay, so you said
tomorrow, huh?
Yep. You said RVD?
Yes.
I'd like to bring up the wrestler Drugs Bunny. Now,
what?
Do you know Drugs Bunny?
No.
Drugs Bunny, let's see if I could find him correctly. Drugs Bunny wrestled in Hood Slam Wrestling in Oakland. And I believe that he would actually hand you a joint and you could smoke it with him. And Drugs Bunny also carried around a bag of cocaine.
I'm
Drugs Bunny
this guy right now.
Yeah, he would carry around a bag of cocaine and stuff it into his face. So well known, hobbies include drugs, recreational and habit forming. So yeah, and this is the thing is Hood Slam itself, the group Hood Slam. Supposedly, what I've heard about Hood Slam is that you can just smoke right there, and like they will grab the joint from you and smoke it and hand it back to you. Yeah. So
hey, there was a clip of last year when Moxley was at GCW and he was, walking into the building and someone offered him a smoke and he took it.
Well, then let's take that to move on to another topic, not another weed topic here. Here's one I think you'll like. Also, do you remember the music video? Those guys made the music video like this last year, and part of it was Moxley jogging, and he just stops and hits a blunt and just jogs off. Did you watch that or catch that?
That might have been when he was at GCW.
Well, this was him exercising during the day. He was like on a jog. Do you get what I'm saying? Like he wasn't going into an arena, I don't think.
I think he might have been exercising around the arena before a show.
Very possible. So here's a great story. Darren Young, you know who Darren Young is?
Yes.
What's his
Fred Rosser?
Fred Rosser. Fred Rosser admitted that he was the weed guy in WWE. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He accidentally leaked Moxley appearing on New Japan Strong because he said he and Moxley used to smoke together all the time, and they had just smoked together recently, which could only have happened if they were in the same place, which was SoCal.
Now,
so there you go.
I don't know if you know this, but when and where and whatever was the story with WWE and when they tested for marijuana and would, give guys suspensions for it, and when did they stop?
I don't know when they stopped, but it had to be in the last 5 to 10 years, right? I
I would
mean,
imagine. Yeah, I don't think they still test for it
well,
and or suspend for
no,
it.
they don't suspend for it anymore because Riddle got suspended for doing cocaine multiple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he would have been suspended. So I guess let's talk about him, Riddle. Like we talk about these weed characters, right? We had RVD, right?
Yes.
Another one we have is the Street Profits, right?
Well, they have this. They
what's their catchphrase?
The pop smoke or what is it? Catch smoke or whatever.
Got the smoke. We got the smoke.
Right. Okay. Are they referring to that smoke. As
Dude, come on. What else are they referring to? Heroin smoke?
I mean, the guy walks to the ring with a red Solo cup, right? Is that still what he does?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering, like, is Private Party the same gimmick
as
the Street Profits?
I would say it's more of a mishmash between maybe the Street Profits and the Acclaimed. I guess.
You think so? Okay.
I mean, they're like a poor man's version of both,
Well, they're like dudes trying to get into the club, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're like kind of a cruiserweight version of those guys.
I love the Street Profits, by the way. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I mean, do they still exist?
They actually just won something. I'll tell you this, though. The most underrated dude, and I've seen him live in real life, is fucking Angelo Dawkins. Is that his name?
He's huge, I hear. Yeah, he's really tall, right?
Well, he's huge, but he's extremely athletic. And, like, you just don't... It doesn't come through on TV, but when you see him in real life, like, he does shit that, like, neither you or I would ever want to do. Like he does this spinning slam into the corner and stuff, and it's just like, you're like, wow, this guy's been wrestling for like a while. He's really learned his shit. Anyways,
and they've really refused to do anything with Montez Ford that of significance.
Weirdly enough. Hey, let's take a break from this real quick, and let me ask you, what do you think of the new tag team belts? Both of them, both sets.
Oh, I think they look pretty cool. I got no problem with them. Yeah, I like.
You don't mind the pizza belts?
It's the one that's modeled after Seth's, right? And no, I like that design.
It looks like a giant biscuit.
And I like how the other one is.
No, the other one's based off of the early '90s title.
Yeah, which I like. I like them both.
That one looks amazing.
Yeah, they're both I mean, they're better than that ugly Intercontinental title they're running around with.
I remember they used to call it. Steve Austin used to call it a couple of smashed pennies because remember it used to be copper. It was and the copper makes it look bad too because it's like third place
or bronze.
Yeah, the bronze. Ugh.
I wasn't really a fan of the whole like Spartan thing on the tag team titles. Like I don't understand what that was about.
It was like, dude, it was years after fucking Gladiator came out, or 300, whatever. Those were shit. Those are one of the better things we're doing. Now we need to get a new Intercontinental belt, and we're going to be really riding high.
Yeah, I mean, I like the title that Seth has, and I like the title that Rhea Ripley just laid down. But
yeah, they need to get a new belt for Cody. They need to get a new belt for fucking.
The rumor is that he wants that Winged Eagle back.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah,
maybe a new version. Like a new, even more flamboyant version of it would be pretty awesome.
I think
because it is kind of small. It is kind of small for a belt nowadays.
I saw this tweet somewhere where somebody was saying at WWE, I would like to get some Cody merch that doesn't look like I'm unvaccinated.
What, because of all the American flags and shit?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But I mean, if you're talking about his title.
I don't want to change the subject too much. We're still talking about Drugs Bunny, but it is kind of funny how like wrestling works. Like Justin, for years, it's like we have, especially with Stone Cold Steve Austin, we have this rejection of the American hero, right?
Yeah, right.
Like I remember even there's a quote. It's like, we're tired of those old heroes who want you to say your prayers and these patriotic. And it's just funny how time is just a flat loop. I mean, fucking, because essentially you have
We're
John
back to
Cena,
that. Yeah.
you have Cody Rhodes, and it's like the same like patriotic all-American white person. Ugh,
You know, it was
it's
funny
almost
because I was talking with my uncle, and you know my uncle's feelings with CM Punk and John Cena, and I told
yeah,
him how.
because I agree with your uncle nowadays.
Well, he was telling me, he's like, you know what? There's really not much I like about wrestling that's going on right now.
Tell him to watch AEW.
Yeah, that's what I would. Yeah, but you know,
Tell him to start watching
we're
Noah.
we've come full circle with the patriotic thing that we were, against in the '90s, and these are all people that some of these people are like, oh, the '90s was the best, but now they're rooting for
Mm-hmm.
Cody and not for, you know, the heels they used to root for. So
No, I'll put it
weird.
this way: Homelander was the bad guy. Okay, Crime Time. Did they smoke weed?
No, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it was implied
But
that
they
they
were criminal.
did.
But they were
See,
criminals.
I wasn't really watching back then, but
I wasn't either. But they were criminals.
I'm sure there were some references being made to it within their, like, appearances.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they were just used by Vince McMahon to make stupid jokes. Matt Riddle. Now, Matt Riddle, obviously the weed thing, blah blah blah. But there was a really weird NXT storyline that was definitely like super weed implied, weed coded. And this was when the Rascals. Now I call them the Rascals. I don't know. I don't remember the names and all that stuff. We saw one of the guys that wrestled last year in LA, and he's great. But his partner, like Wentz, Trey Miguel, and Wentz, I forget their names. He got kicked out of NXT. So
Yeah, I
that's the
remember what
Rascals.
he did too. Yeah.
Do you remember? But the names of these people, it's the Rascals. I can't remember everybody's names, but they had, when they were a tag team, they had a story where they were like looking for a guru. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we need a guru kind of thing. And it ended up being, Matt Riddle, and like smoke was coming from his house. It's, you know what I mean?
I don't remember any of that, or never saw any of that.
I don't think you were. Wes Lee, by the way. Wes Lee, he's great. The Rascals is Wes Lee, Wentz, Myron Reed, Trey Miguel, and Wesley. But yeah, they had that storyline, and that was so weird. Just WWE trying to imply like that people are smoking weed, but not really being able to have the balls to say it, you know?
Well, don't forget The Godfather either.
Oh, we've got plenty to talk about The Godfather, brother.
Yeah.
I've got notes here. I've got some notes here, which I just closed, and so now I'm lost. Someone else, Jim Ross, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know about his history with marijuana?
I remember hearing something about it, but tell me.
Well, there's a few things. One is in the Attitude Era when he was wearing 10 hats in WWE and was one of the most important people in the company.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he would just fucking light up a joint and walk the arena when he was stressed out.
Oh, I see. Like, before a show or whatever.
Yeah. So if you see Jim walking around fucking toking up, don't go ask for a hit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he's not in a good mood at that point. He also had to learn to roll joints. He got so good at rolling joints for Bill Watts while driving with his knees, actually, is part of his story.
That's
so funny. Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik said in a shoot interview that Hulk Hogan and Macho Man pissed him off because he smoked all his weed. Now,
was it the Iron Sheik and Hacksaw Jim Duggan that got caught arrested?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Iron Sheik have... So, yeah, Duggan and Sheik, they were pulled over in New Jersey in May 1987 after cops spotted... They spotted Duggan drinking a beer and driving. And they were arrested when the cops found more marijuana and cocaine. So, but Justin, that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that Duggan was traveling with the Sheik.
What, bad guy, good guy, yeah.
So Vince was fucking livid, and they were both fired.
Right, yeah.
Ultimately, they were hired again, but Duggan never got a much lower card, and Sheik's main event time had come to an end. So yeah, this was, even nowadays, this would be even considered kind of like a no-no. I mean, really, I mean, even in WWE, like, you don't have you don't travel with your main, fucking rival. So,
No, you don't. It doesn't, not even now.
no, not even now. That's what I'm saying. Like, we've seen all the behind the scenes. I think, like, in New Japan, they travel on a bus, but I think everyone sits together and shit.
Well, no, I think they do have heel and babyface buses.
Heel and baby bus.
Yeah, and if you're in
the
Bullet Club, you're hanging out with the Bullet Club.
You're hanging out with the Bullet Club, and you're there maybe some tweeners and stuff and other heels.
Right. Maybe once you get to the arena, there's a little more intermingling, but all the travel. Well,
there obviously has to be in the locker room, but yes, right. You don't want to be caught. It'd just be weird, dude. If I saw fucking Roman Reigns drinking a beer with Cody a couple months ago, even nowadays, it'd be inappropriate. Jack Swagger, Jake Hager, pulled over for speeding in Mississippi in February 2013. Was arrested for marijuana and DUI, but not alcohol. So obviously he told the cops he smoked or some shit like that. He didn't face much backlash. He returned to television and aligned with Zeb Coulter as the Real Americans. And Coulter managed him to a WrestleMania World Title match that year. As a joke, fans were sharing memes that said, "Weed the people." Teddy Hart. Did you see the Teddy Hart documentary on Peacock, by the way? Did we even talk about it? We must have talked about it.
I mean, I heard it. He looks like a complete piece of shit, right?
He looks like a total piece of shit. I don't think he murdered the girl, because that's the whole thing. Like, the whole story is that he hung out with this woman and had a close relationship with her, and then, like, told her to leave, and she became homeless and disappeared. Okay. He seems like a horrible person, dude. And he's a weed dealer and a cat breeder. It was a pretty great documentary, but yes, it does make him look like a total piece of shit. But and it's weird too, because you watch his old wrestling and he's pretty talented. But
well, he was supposed to be the next big thing at some point.
Yeah, it's what does that even mean? Like, you're going to be the next big thing after a couple months of I don't know what to say about that.
He was supposed to be a big star, put it that way.
Yeah. So him, and we talk about weed because he loves fucking smoking weed, but I feel like that's a very small part of his story, so who cares? So I told you about that guy from Dark Side of the Ring that died. Now, you've seen Dark Side of the Ring. Could you have it kind of like a lot of the stuff memorized in your head, or would you have to be reminded?
Probably reminded, and I haven't seen any of like the last season or two.
No, wait. Sorry, not Dark Side of the Ring. I'm sorry. I meant the old documentary. Beyond the Mat.
For the most part,
That's what I meant. Beyond the Mat, I hate to say it this way, but the black guy that tried out for WWF at the time, and the one who Jim Ross comes up to and tells him, "Oh, you need to get some upper body strength." Right. Does that ring a bell? They went with like Mike Modest or Matt.
Mike Modest was one of them, and the other guys who you're referring to, Tony something.
Yeah, he passed away. Yeah, pretty sad stuff, man. Well, what I was hearing about him was Meltzer said he was from San Jose. Right. And that he would see him at like all the PWG shows, and stuff like that. And I guess that he, it's really sad to hear that. He did wrestle, for years and years and years. But the thing I heard about him was that also he was a much bigger MMA fan than he was a wrestling fan. And that if Tony was probably born, a couple of years later, he probably would have been an MMA athlete.
I see.
We look at that movie and very iconic to me, and we see person after person passing away. Terry Funk recently, who looked like he was about to pass away in that movie.
He did, yeah.
But
a lot of those later appearances, with the exception of the Onita Dark Side of the Ring, he was looking like he'd seen better days.
I heard a story when I used to listen to wrestling, the PW Torch, okay? And they used to have this guy that was a Survivor, and I don't remember his name, but he's a huge wrestling fan, and he was on Survivor, okay?
Okay.
And he's
Johnny
like kind of
Fairplay guy or something?
Yeah, there. Uh-oh, my headphone fell off. 1 second.
Whoops, a daisy. Yeah, Johnny Fairplay.
How do you know him?
I just heard him through heard of him through
The wrestling?
the hemisphere, and just, he's from his Survivor stuff, I guess, here and there. Never really watched it, but like for some reason I've heard of him.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, wrestling guy, I guess, fan. But he was like, he has a lot of history, I guess. He was like Rowdy Piper's handler for a minute at one
Hmm.
point or something. And there was this classic story when Piper died. I heard this story, which is that, and Roddy Piper was known to be a real weird motherfucker, by the way. So I don't know. I don't know if you knew that, but
No, I
supposedly
did.
he was, yeah, he was like not the easiest dude to chill with. So Rowdy Piper was with Snoop Dogg and Johnny Fairplay, and I guess after a little bit, like half an hour or so, like Piper was like fucking livid, not talking to anyone. And Johnny Fairplay asks, like, Piper's like, dude, what's wrong? Like, and he's like, dude, he said, Snoop Dogg doesn't want to share weed with me. I don't want to share fucking with him. Fuck him. And there was no one ever asked them to smoke weed, and it was never brought up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Random. Wasn't there
funny
a
little
point
thing
where Rob Van Dam and Sabu got arrested too?
for marijuana.
Yeah, they got pulled over.
Oh,
Similar situation to the Sheik, and it was in the heart of his WWE run where they were going to give him the title and everything.
okay. RVD's not been shy while traveling from a show to West Virginia to Philly with Sabu on July 1st. So this was in 2006. Yes, you're right. Like 10 years later, right?
Mm-hmm.
The officer was joking around, but then he smelled pot. By the way, Justin, I've been arrested for having weed in my car, by the way. Just want you to know this.
Okay.
I've been arrested. Now, I wasn't arrested for having the weed. I was arrested for admitting that I had smoked weed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a DUI. But people have got to remember, smelling marijuana gives a cop probable cause to search your car, even if it's legal. Because if they smell marijuana, that means that they could have probable cause that you were smoking it in your car.
Right.
Or that you have it illegally without any kind of, permit in a place where it's not legal. So, guys, don't fucking smoke in your car, dude. Go outside, go to a park and hit it in a rock area. Don't do it in your car, guys. It's not smart. I haven't smoked in a car in probably fucking 15 years. Don't do it, guys.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Justin?
Idea. Yes.
Okay, good. So they were going from West Virginia to Philly, July 1st, 2006. Everything was going fine. The officer performed a search of the car and discovered RVD to be holding 18 grams of marijuana. It's not a ton. And he had 5 Vicodins, while Sabu was holding paraphernalia and 9 tablets of testolactone.
What's that?
What is I'm thinking it's a testosterone drug, but let's make sure here. As non-selective inhibitor. It's a breast cancer drug, but there's got to be some off-label uses. I don't know what to say, bro. It's a breast cancer drug. Wow. It's a breast cancer drug. I'm sure you mainly used for typing breast cancer. So who knows why he had that? It was discontinued 2 years after he had it, and it was never made available for medical use afterwards, which is weird as fuck. What a thing to get arrested for, at least get arrested for something fun, right?
Something fun. Okay. Yeah. It might be something they use to disguise.
Could be some hormone shit.
Yeah. It could be something they use to disguise when they take a drug test.
Who knows? That's very interesting. They were both arrested. The timing of the arrest couldn't come worse, as RVD was in the middle of the biggest push of his career. Yes. He had just won the WWE Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to revive the ECW brand. And he was suspended after that.
There you go.
Yeah. And thanks for bringing that up. Also, I want to shout out ProWrestlingStories.com, who actually wrote that for us, and we read it. So thank you, Pro Wrestling Stories. Looks pretty interesting. They have a whole thing about Justin Roberts talking about his time in WWE, although he wrote that book, Best Seat in the House. MVP, well known for smoking weed, and he used to talk about it all the time on his MLW podcast, just so you know. Conan.
Right.
You know Conan.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
I guess he has talked about smoking backstage with Mike Tenay, which sounds intense. I mean, Mike Tenay is a very smart guy.
It sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone commented, like, I bet you they used to smoke up and watch fucking 90s Japanese wrestling. And it's like, I would not be surprised. Teddy Long and The Godfather, right?
Right.
So you brought up The
Especially
Godfather.
the
Kind of
Godfather had it on his merch, man.
Living the gimmick there. And that's
Mhm.
what I was wondering. So during the Attitude Era, it was okay to just put weed stuff on your merch, right?
I mean, it was pretty much pop culture back then. You know, a lot of people would wear shirts and stuff with it, but never messed with it, or they did, or whatever. But, you know,
Okay, I see the Godfather one with the pot leaves, and he's
yeah.
got a fucking big ass blunt he's smoking.
Yep.
Wow. It's crazy because it's more legal now, but it's almost like it's almost less popular to walk around with the weed leaves on the shirt.
I know, right? You don't really see it as much anymore as you did back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm okay with. I always thought it was a tacky kind of. It's like, do your thing at home, you know?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't know if it's
really
something you want to wear as a badge of honor, you know?
Yeah. 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 That's the other thing. Like, I don't go to Denver on 420 and stuff. Like, it's not really, I don't like the culture so much. It's more of a personal thing. And so, you know, with wrestling, we've seen a lot of themes there and a lot of people. And just like any group, there's always going to be a certain amount of people that use weed in America. And like you said, also, Justin, sorry,
Yeah.
Dustin's another person. Justin, as you said, also something I agree with. Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Let's quickly run down some of these matches tomorrow. We'll give our predictions.
Dynasty.
And we'll see if we were correct. Now I'm trying to think, what were you saying that I totally agreed with?
Everything.
I guess so. Okay. 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 We're gonna quickly talk Dynasty again. We have a whole half hour. Technically, we've been going for over an hour now. So let's finish this off real quick. Okay, first of all, we got our AEW Dynasty 0 Hour, Orange Cassidy and Shibata versus Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. I've got Orange Cassidy and Shibata, but although Shane Taylor has been looking great lately.
I mean, yeah, unless there's going to be some kind of unexpected turn or something, I think you'll go with Shibata and Orange Cassidy.
Shibata. I mean, because Orange Cassidy kind of never loses also, right?
No, he's always a good bet to win, yeah.
With good reason. With good reason.
Absolutely.
With good reason. Next off, I like Lee Moriarty still growing, though. He's still growing. And him with Shane Taylor, that's a good match. Shane Taylor's been around forever, and he's actually really good, dude.
No, there's no reason why they can't be a competing tag team that goes for titles at some point.
Trent Beretta versus Matt Sydal. Trent Beretta's got to win because he just went for a heel turn. He's a heel now.
Yeah, I saw
Matt
that.
Matt Sydal never wins also in WWE.
Yeah, he's got to build up that heel run, yeah.
The Acclaimed versus Bullet Club Gold. Title for title.
That's interesting, huh? I guess Bullet Club Gold.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
Bullet Club Gold.
Eventually, you got to put Jay with a singles run at some point.
Oh, don't forget, the guy did have a whole match against MJF, which I thought was a pretty good match, but it was considered one of the worst matches in AEW history.
It wasn't that
crazy.
bad, but it was.
No, I didn't think it was bad at all.
No, I thought it was a little overbooked and theatric driven, but that's okay.
This is going to have a whole talk about
WWE,
this. Like, I really think that the whole devil thing was not nearly as bad as people say. Oh, it was the worst gimmick of the year. It's like, dude, it was not that bad.
No, it wasn't.
I don't get the hate for it, bro. And people are pretending like the Adam Cole versus MJF thing was such a disaster. It's like, brother, they sold out. Fuck it. They sold like 70,000 tickets in England.
No, it's fine. The only problem I had with the Jay White MJF was Jay White just didn't come out looking good. That's all. From a character standpoint.
Pac versus Okada.
Is that wow? That'll be fun. Easy there, buddy.
You tell me that every time I drink. Okay.
Do I?
Actually, you haven't told me that in a while. No, like, I remember when we were first recording, I took like a huge swig of a drink and you were like, whoa. Anyway, Okada is going to win this match.
Oh, yeah.
Okada
But it'll
is
be
awesome.
Yeah.
Pac is awesome. Pac has wrestled in Japan for years. Okay.
Dragon Gate?
Yep. I mean, dude, he went to Dragon Gate pre-pandemic. He went to Dragon Gate after WWE. Had some great matches there. Pac is really, dude. He really is actually one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like, he's not at a Will Ospreay, but like, he's always great, bro.
Oh, definitely. And this is,
and he's older, and he's gotten better over time. I mean, the Black Arrow. This is going to be a great match. Speaking of great, in fact, people are calling this possibly one of the best pay-per-views in AEW, and we'll keep talking about this. Young Bucks versus FTR ladder match. Woo!
Non-titles involved, right? No titles involved?
The title is involved. Whoever wins will become the champion.
I think it's got to be the Young Bucks.
It's got to be the Young Bucks this time, because I think that would tie them up. Yeah. FTR, these guys are going to have fucking 5 more matches over the next 5 years anyway.
Oh yeah.
So don't at the end it'll be like, you know, who's the best team ever. That's kind of the gimmick they go for. And they lost at All In. So of course,
exactly, they got to get it back.
Come back in. Another great match, Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong. I think Roderick Strong stays championship here. Kyle O'Reilly just came back.
Yeah, he needs to be kind of set back and built up somehow, and maybe find some type of alliance with some people.
We forget how long, like you and I are so used to seeing Kyle O'Reilly on TV. You know, we watched him in New Japan for year after year, right?
Mm-hmm.
ROH. We forget how long and how much this guy struggled to get back in the ring. Almost, I do.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was rumors that his career was over, right?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's weird because these people like Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, it's like we've seen these guys in and out of the ring so often that they take some time off and you're like, oh, they'll be back. And then we come to find out like, oh no, they almost never wrestled again, you know? It's scary, man. But I would love to see these guys put on a killer match. This is an old school ROH match, by the way. Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly. So,
or PWG, yeah, it should be fun.
Or PWG. And Roderick Strong is doing his old style where it's just backbreakers and chops.
Yeah, the shitty little boots.
Copeland, Kingston, and Briscoe versus House of Black. Who do you got?
Kofi and say it again. Eddie Kingston. Copeland and Kingston against. Well, I would
Adam Copeland.
No. I get you now.
Mark Briscoe.
Is there 6-man titles involved in this?
No.
Wow.
The rumor has always been that 2 of these dudes refuse to take a pin.
Right.
Malachi Black and
those are the ones that we talked about for guys that refuse to take a pin. They sure do take a lot.
No. Wow. Malachi Black does not take a lot of pins.
I'm thinking that Malachi and Ed and Copeland is the singles match they want to build to, right? So maybe
I would like to see Malachi pin Copeland here.
Yeah, that's what I think.
We get a TNT title match.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my guess. And then Copeland will beat him later, and then he'll join WWE, right?
Perhaps he's got
kind of the hope.
The wife over there, so he'll join
Tony Storm versus Thunder. Tony Storm versus with his wife, the fucking Dutch dude.
Yep.
Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa. Should be a good women's match. 2 professionals, older women, in a good way.
Tony Storm's not that old. I know that Thunder Rosa's in her mid-30s.
For a Joshi wrestler, she is.
Well, she's in her mid to late 20s.
28? Okay, you're right. She's not.
No.
It's just she's just been around for so long, dude.
Yeah,
that
Thunder Rosa's like 36 or something, but no, this will be a good match. I think Tony Storm will retain. I think she's going to go on a little bit longer run. I think they want to wait till they have like a Brie Baker or someone like that back, and that's when they'll hand it off.
Brie Baker? Who the fuck is Brie Baker?
Britt Baker. Britt Baker. You know what I'm trying to say. Stop it.
Sorry. Dude, you really got to see Mina Shirakawa. I'm going to text you a picture of her right now. Like, I'm sorry, but bro, her gimmick is that she's sexy. That, she's
it's been done.
Not every, yeah, but not every Stardom wrestler gets to use that gimmick, even though half of them, could. But okay, well, my Firefox is freezing. Let me see where we were, by the way. We were at that women's match. We were, as my Firefox froze and is restarting. I switched from Opera to Firefox. I was using Opera forever, but I finally switched to Firefox. What are you using? Safari?
Chrome.
What do you use?
Chrome. Google Chrome.
Google Chrome. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, sorry, my shit unplugged. Okay, next match. Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland.
Maybe it's time for Swerve, man.
The only thing I gotta say about this, Justin, is I'm a little sad that the World Championship match is not the biggest match on the show.
Well, that's what happens when you have Ospreay and Danielson, so.
It's true. And you know what? I think, okay, so here's the general idea.
That's been Joe the last couple things. Joe hasn't been.
It's true. It's true. But he's been a good champion nonetheless.
Oh, absolutely. But for some reason, there's always been some singles thing above him.
And you're right. That's Joe. I mean, he's almost a transitional champion, right? He was someone that could credibly beat Max.
They don't have to do that. They could put that match on last if they really want to.
Nah, you can't do that, bro. Come on. That's a no-no.
No, if it's the title match, you can always have an excuse to put that last. If you want.
We'll see about that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so I think Strickland wins this one, but I'm not 100% sure.
No.
Because they could even do a rematch, I guess. A third one. But then again, you could have Hangman screw over Strickland.
Sure. Or he can come out afterwards and be his first challenger.
True. My idea, and I think this is not my idea, I think every fan has this idea that you do Strickland, and then Strickland holds until Wembley, and then you do Ospreay versus Strickland.
That would be very fun. Or Okada Strickland.
Yeah, the only thing is, like, do you want Ospreay Strickland, or do you want Ospreay against a huge heel that everyone's booing? And maybe Swerve goes heel before Wembley. I don't know.
I would love to see eventually a babyface Ospreay against a heel Okada for that title.
That'd be pretty great. And as far as Okada goes, we've talked about this. I mean, Okada versus there's so many matches, dude. I think the one we've talked about is Okada versus, now I'm not remembering his name, Japanese dude who's in the Don Callis family, Takeshita.
Oh yeah,
Okada versus Takeshita.
At some point. It'll happen at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Okada Moxley yet.
I know. Oh god, dude. Yeah. Fuck, dude. I'd watch Okada versus Matt Sydal and probably enjoy it. So yeah, that's an interesting one. The Swerve versus Joe match, that's gonna be one we all have our eyes on, that we're like, what's gonna happen?
That? Yeah.
Which makes it intriguing. It makes it compelling when you're not 100% sure. But I'd be happy with either one.
Agreed.
So, depending on where they go from there. Julia Hart versus Willow. So this, I see Willow winning this, so we can move on to Willow versus Mercedes, right? That's just logical.
It makes sense. Makes sense to get her title back.
Yeah, because Mercedes been having a real tough time in AEW, by the way. Her promos have been, everyone says they're like 2017 WWE. It's true, bro.
Like we've said from the get-go, she's not a promo person.
Yeah, it's not really her.
No.
Yeah. And she's got her writer from 2019 WWE, and yeah, she needs to get in the ring really quick and start wrestling.
I mean, it's more of her cadence. It's not really what she says. It's more of her cadence, and it's just she's never been good.
Yeah. Yep. I thought she was better in Japan, actually, when she was a little less produced. And then Ospreay versus Danielson. We think Ospreay's going to win this one because of the story, but even knowing that, this has match of the year written on it, right?
Oh, I mean, definitely it should be in the conversation when it's done. Absolutely.
Definitely. I mean, it's like you got one guy who has all these matches of the year versus another dude who has all these matches of the year. It's almost, you know what I mean?
It's fair to say it's going to be a disappointment if it's not.
It's going to be this match will be a disappointment if it is not like one of the fucking best matches I've ever seen. So we'll see. I'm very excited. Did you get my picture of Mina Shirakawa?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
She is 36 years old, brother. And they're letting her do the sexy woman gimmick at 36. I love that for her, by the way. Did you see that she actually kissed Mariah May?
No, I haven't.
Okay. She's in AEW now, dude.
Okay, I believe you.
But I'm just going to say, man, I like that.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, sure. I don't blame you.
Go show the kids.
Yeah, it's 10:44. Them kids are asleep right now.
Yeah, right. They're probably playing their little handheld phone underneath their bed, their blanket.
Okay.
All right, bro. Okay, well, I appreciate you. I know this was a late episode. We did an hour and a half. That's not too bad. And half of our episode was destroyed and erased. And so that's okay. I appreciate you, Justin.
Appreciate you as well. I appreciate to the thousands of listeners that we get.
Thousands of fans. The fans. Yep. And we are opening up the email. So if you guys want to email us, let us know.
Yes.
All right.
Email. Email.
All right. We will see you guys later.
Good night, everybody.